Hey, Glasgow Movie Addict here, hope you're all well. In this video review, I'm going to be talking to you about the first of these new releases for this week. I did a wee cinema trip. In this particular video, I'm going to be talking to you about the new historical drama, Chevalier. Now, Chevalier is directed by Stephen Williams and was released into UK cinemas last Friday, the 9th of June. It stars Kelvin Harrison Jr. As celebrated violinist, composer and fencer Joseph Bologna Chevalier de Saint Georges. There you go, that's quite a mouthful that. It documents his rise and fall. He's the illegitimate son of an African slave and a French plantation owner. He's discovered by his father as an immense talent for the violin. It tells his story from his rise, his relationship with the Queen of France, Marie Antoinette, played by Lucy Boynton, his love affair with Marie Josephine, played by Samara Weaving, and the tragedy that ensues, plus his influence on the French Revolution. So it's an English language Americanized film set in France. The actors do have English accents, but occasionally say well-known French words that we know, such as monsieur, bonjour, but that's okay. I was a little bit unsure about that at first, but this film is sort of aimed at mainstream audiences, so I understand why it's a sort of English language film. So it is, if you like shows like Bridgerton, if you like sort of costume dramas, historical dramas, then this film I would highly recommend. However, for me, for the first half hour at least of the movie, I really struggled to get into this. I didn't enjoy it. I really struggled to get into it, to get into the story. I'm not personally a huge fan of costume dramas. I watched this film because I'm interested in a bit of history, and one of the positive things about this film is that I've learnt a new bit of history. Joseph Bologna was a musical genius. There's a really good bit at the start where he actually does a sort of not a dance off, a violin off sort of thing with Amadeus Mozart, and it's quite humorous. What I would say about the film is that as the story progressed, the story has more depth to it and becomes a little bit more hard hitting. Joseph Bologna has to deal with a lot of racism. This is France in the 1700s. Deals with a lot of prejudice because of his skin colour, and it's how he overcomes all of that. How he is sort of pally with Marie Antoinette, but then the two of them have a sort of fallout, and then what ensues from that. But I didn't like the first half hour. It did feel like an ITV drama, but I think that as the film progressed, I started to enjoy it a little bit more, and I was a bit more engaged. To conclude, the positive thing I would say about this movie is that it's offered a really good bit of history about Joseph Bologna, who is a musical genius, and his rise and fall at a time set just before the French Revolution. The story behind this film I have to find quite inspiring. I think that's the best thing about it, was the actual story. The film itself has its positives, however it's not a film that I would really watch again, and I think it hits like a bit of a personal taste barrier. So I would give this film a 5.5 out of 10. Now, please let me know if you've seen this movie and comment below. I'm sure there's a lot of sort of wide range of opinions on this, but a 5.5 out of 10 for me. I'm not really a huge fan of the costume drama side, and I don't think this film is a film I would go back to watch again. However, positives, I did appreciate the film, I liked the story, I thought the acting was decent from Kelvin Harrison Jr. I think the character he plays is really quite an inspirational character, a musical genius. So I appreciated that about it. But as a film as a whole, it's not one that I'll really be that fussed about in years to come. It's not one that I would bother to watch again. So I would give Chevalier a 5.5 out of 10. Let me know what you think. Comment below. My name is Robert. You're listening to Glasgow Movie Addict, and I will be back with you on my next review. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.